don't need bigger knife. Yeah.
Greetings, everybody. We're back around the table again today to bring you another exciting new review, because that's what we do.
We're also very excited about it. I can tell, right?
Can't you tell?
It's
Yes.
2020. It's new products for 2020.
Yes, it is.
It's some good times.
This one's kind of unique. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. So before we carry on, make sure you all click that like button and do the subscribey thing, and
Ring that bell.
indeed,
I don't,
ding
know
a
why
lane.
I don't know why it's one of these,
Well,
but
because
It's a little bell.
okay. I was gonna say don't flick bells. That would probably hurt.
Depends on the size.
Eh.
No.
So pocket dump status.
Wow. All right.
No. Don't engage.
I don't carry it enough. It's the Techno 2. It's a fun little blade.
It's hot.
It is a cool little blade.
So, yeah.
Techno.
Yeah, it is.
Just a splash color on the backside. Just the way I like it.
He likes a splash on the backside.
Oh,
On that note, Nigel, what are you carrying?
Surprisingly, I have my Crooked River
Oh,
with
it's
the Pods.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
not an M4 bailout.
Nope.
Yeah.
shocker.
Actually mixing it up.
It's like, what do you mean you like to carry things you like?
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Yep.
And then I'm
Oh.
rocking a lot of knife from Coldsteel here.
I almost
You
got
sure
cut there.
Not trying hard enough, Paul.
You don't need your nose. It's fine. Coldsteel Frenzy, S35 VN, Blue G10. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly pocketable.
Shockingly pocketable.
With an X.
Yes.
Not quite as pocketable, but still not bad. The Black Talon 2. Just XHP ridiculousness.
Thing's terrifying
It
every
is.
time.
It's a
It
bit
is.
spooky, but it opens boxes like a mother. So, yeah, it's fun.
Parental supervision when I'm handling that knife. Jeez.
Just somebody can call the ambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, today, like Dennis mentioned earlier, we do have a brand new for 2020 knife, and this one is going to be another new offering from Coldsteel, a very weird offering, the Kris Voyager.
Oh, I almost
lot of knife.
didn't get it out in time. It was so hard to get out.
You almost stabbed Nigel.
I had to get it out in time. There could be casualties when that type of thing happens.
I'm not going to engage in that.
So yeah, this year Coldsteel came out with a couple blades with the Kris on it, the Voyager as well as a limited edition Tylite.
Yeah.
I want both.
Yeah. The Voyager here is using Oz 10 for the steel, and then the injected molded plastic for the handles there.
Grive X.
Grive
Grive
X,
X,
yep.
not
is what-
Grivery, it's Grive.
Grippy as hell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little like Maltese cross pattern that's
Very
molded in there.
Very grippy.
It is a eye catcher, that's for sure.
And good old triad locks at the end of it all because it's cold steel.
It's more than a foot long, man.
So weighing in at 7.4 ounces, it would take just over 4,000 of these knives to equal the weight at 1,820 pounds for the launch mast of the Voyager spaceship.
Mast.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't realized
How
it was
many?
that lightweight.
Around 4,000. Or just
4,000.
yeah.
I see.
I was
I
gonna
see.
say, it boggles my mind that weighs what a Mach 110 weighs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like ounce per inch. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yes, it is.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not as good as the mast for the Voyager though.
Now,
True enough.
I do want to know if you blast 4,000 of these things into space, is that going to solve some asteroid problems when it comes down to it?
No, that's
No.
just putting more garbage around our planet. We've got
So-
enough of that already.
Sharp garbage.
Even better question, can you make 4,000 of these into a spaceship?
Oh,
With enough time and
between
glue.
plastic and steel and aluminum. I don't know. You can melt her down.
Build a big
And-
enough bomb.
Make the saddest spaceship ever.
Yeah.
Just audibly womp womp as it launches.
Just somebody sitting inside. Ow! Ow!
And then coming in at a overall length of 12.25 inches, It would take just over 1,100 of these knives to equal the length of the Voyager NCC 74656 spaceship.
Nerds!
Come on, we were talking about the launch mass, so we got to talk about the spaceship.
I see.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I'll show you 7 of 9.
Oh my.
I don't know what that means,
So,
and I don't ever want to.
With this one being such an eye catcher, we figured it would be a really good one to talk about because there's definitely many, many interesting talking points about it. And to kick off all that, let's go with Dennis's scores.
Yeah, I dropped
As he
down.
bumps the table.
Yeah. Kicking the table.
Bumpy boy.
It's what I do. So, overall, objectively, I did give it pretty good. I got 8s across the board for the most part. Cutting ability and ergonomic execution, I did give it 7s.
Okay.
The big thing for me was it's an XL knife. Not all people are going to like an XL knife, and not everybody's going to like this particular XL knife
Yeah,
because of its
It's
blade
an
shape, right?
acquired taste,
They're
for sure.
wrong.
So, and then cutting ability, yeah, sure, it does slice like nobody's business
Yeah.
in particular ways, but in practical ways, cutting ability, and that's maybe why I knocked it a little bit. Personally, yeah, it doesn't do it for me. The enthusiasm on this one, as well as the aesthetics, both got a 5. The aesthetics for me personally is because I don't think this particular handle matches the blade. I'm not unopposed to Kris blades. I think the Voyager does very well for itself, but there's certain blade shapes that work better aesthetically with a Voyager handle, like their Tantos
You're
and
thinking
their
more of the Bowie, you know.
yeah, and their Bowie point more than even the Valcaro and the. Don't get me wrong, for what they're made for, it's scary and it's great, but for a practical sense, I'd like a more practical knife.
Understandable.
What was your total?
Oh, sorry, I skipped all of that. I gave you the whole explanation.
All right.
So at the end, we're going to slip in that I did give it a 66, which is a C minus. Didn't wow me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then to mirror that, I came in at a 66, which is a C minus.
Sure. Show me up by saying it first. Go ahead.
Yeah, objectively, 8s and 7s across the board. Gave it 7s for cutting ability, lockup, and actuation. As Dennis was mentioning, it is a dagger blade, so inherently it is fairly wedgy. So even though Coldsteel does a wonderful job sharpening out of the factory, it's still the dagger and still fairly wedgy, so it could definitely hamper your cutting abilities, I'm figuring. For personal side, went all the way down to 4 for pocket ergos as well as the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I just don't care, like, as also what Dennis was saying about the mismatch kind of with the handle for the blade. I just don't care for it, really, so that's why the enthusiasm was so low. And then the pocket ergos was pretty bad, because that is a horribly tight clip and a fairly aggressive texture on it, for sure.
Yes. I guess that brings it around the table to me. I gave it a 74, which is a C+. I actually gave it 8s across the board, except for a lockup and actuation, because the triad lock is a bank vault, and it's especially in their larger knives. It's just awesome. Anyways, on the personal side of things, I actually gave it a lot of 7s for both material choice, aesthetic, and ergonomic preference. Pocket ergos, this is actually one really low mark. I gave it a 4 for that because, like Nigel said, between the Coldsteel pocket clip and the amazing amount of texture that's on this knife,
And also quickly dabbling into the footprint closed.
Yeah.
literally was just getting there.
If all three of us have mentioned how uncomfortable it is in the pocket, again with that,
2 1/4 inch wide.
yeah, it makes a full size Crooked River look very pocketable,
Very petite.
Yeah,
I was excited about it. I actually gave it an 8 for enthusiasm, specifically because it's a crisp blade, and you never see those, especially in a pocket knife.
there's a reason.
It's on to you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess I'm the lover for this particular knife. 75 B minus. 1 point higher than Paul there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I gave it 8s across the board except for ergonomic execution. It's not that there's any one grip position in particular that I dislike about it. It's just the grip is so grippy that it is quite aggressive. I don't mind it as much in terms of, say, like a self-defense knife or like military law enforcement, the types of people who, the Voyager series was really made for, like heavy-duty outdoor work.
Somebody wearing gloves, probably.
In a situation where if you do draw the knife, you don't want to lose grip of it, period. Yeah. I understand that.
And heavy outdoor work, you're talking about the Voyager handle, not necessarily the grip.
That's more what I'm thinking. Yeah, but like the Vaquero blade shape and this one particularly, they're definitely meant for self-defense, really. The personal side of things, it got 8s and 7s except for pocket ergos, which also got a 5. I understand that this isn't... I didn't have a problem drawing this out of the pocket, but this would destroy my pocket if I had to do that more than once or twice a day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this isn't something I would ever consider for, say, an EDC or a work knife, unless I was in military, law enforcement, and I wanted a defensive blade. I like it specifically because it is a Kris blade shape. I'm like, the last one I saw before this was the Spyderco Kris, and I'm still kicking myself for not picking it up when I had the chance. I just like the variety. I like the cool blade shape. Oz 10, it's nice to see them using this... the Voyager platform to test the waters with this kind of blade.
So yeah, there's going to be the roundup of all our scores. Objectively, overall, I think we all did score it pretty well. It was definitely the personal side that there was the most variance.
Yeah.
A little bit divisive, for sure.
We'll get into that on Friday.
Yeah, we will. Once again, going to give a giant thank out to the Cutting Edge for lending us this knife for our review purposes.
Porpoises?
I heard pre-purposes.
I totally threw you off on hating the thank out. I won't forget that hashtag kill the thank out is a thing.
Hashtag never forgive. Hashtag never forget.
Whoa.
And if you wanted to head over to the Patreon, and you could check out the tiers and also see the kill the thank out tier if you were wanting to donate such a large amount.
It is up. We are going to be having some giveaways on Patreon, but
I love you guys. Don't do it.
Not that tier. That's silly. We did it just because. But the other tiers for the giveaways definitely do, and we'll have some announcements on Instagram about that as well.
Head on over to Instagram. Get the conversation about... Conversation is not the right word.
The lowdown, the info,
the information,
the scoop, the jazz,
the business,
the 411.
Yeah.
There you go. Finishing out strong. There you go, Paul.
Head on over to Instagram to get the 411 on future giveaways, things like that. Food that we might be cooking, kind of a preview of the knife that we might be looking at that week and things like that.
Another random stupid BS that happens to happen.
What he said.
Indeed. So yeah, that being that, this is Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
And I'm Exile.ca.
We will catch you again Friday.
We don't need